Heidi ho hotties, it's Aurora here, and I just wanted to do a video sharing about my magical understanding of RBDSMA. So firstly, it's a way of communicating with someone, expectations, wants, desires, kind of important information that you need to share before you even go for snoggy snoggersons with someone. And I feel like if you can own it and say, hey, I've got this great conversation, would you like to play with me? It can be enjoyable and quite it can be sexy and fun, and really, like, it can build really great rapport with your potential partner or person that you are just about to connect with. Okay, so I went to an ethical non-monogamy book club last night, and it was fantastic in Brighton. And we talked about how to kind of like keep emotionally safe, keep our hearts, care for our hearts when we connect with new people, and how do we reduce the amount of dissonance or assumptions or kind of like mismatched wants and kind of expectations from having a structure that is safe and easy and consistent for you to follow each time. So I am going to go through it, and I'll explain every little bit to you so you can use it in your own time. But the letters are RBDSMA. So maybe you can remember BDSM, and then there's an R at the beginning and A at the end. Okay, so firstly, R. So R is for relationship. So this conversation can be, are you in a relationship now? Are there any like difficulties in your connections with exes? You can keep it simple, or you can go into more detail. My experience of when we go into lots of detail is that you can kind of lose the format. So it's kind of cool to keep to, are you currently in a relationship? Do you want a relationship? Do you want a long-term relationship? Or just kind of finding out what somebody wants. So you can maybe choose who goes first, and then the other person in the kind of couple can then go. So that's relationship. And then B is boundaries. So it could be like boundaries for this very moment of this meeting. So this can actually go really beautifully with friends as well. So boundaries. So I'm not really going to listen to voice messages over 4 minutes long, or I don't really want to take my clothes off today, for example. Or I don't really want to like go out in public. I just want us to like have close time together indoors, but then I don't really want it to be like a kind of boyfriend girlfriend things outside. So it's a beautiful opportunity for both to just speak their truth. And if you do this kind of conversation really early on, there's kind of like, it's clear from the beginning. And so you're not kind of enmeshed, and your heart's not got like attached and connected, and there's not a strong connection, so that you can just really speak your truth and not be worried about losing the other person. You can just really, trust that you can say your truth, and it's in a very calm, like relaxed situation, and it can be talked about. So one person will go, and then the other person will say their boundaries. And it's a good opportunity to feel into, How does it feel in your body when you hear their boundaries? And how does it feel when you say your own boundaries or even explore your own boundaries? The next letter is D for desires. So I have had an absolute ball on this one. I've had full body sensations and real releases from just saying out my authentic desires. So when we kind of drop in and relax and just sit in front of another human being and have some eye contact and just kind of move your awareness into like the lower part of your body, maybe into your belly, you have your back nice and straight, and you take some breaths together. And sometimes this is easy for some people and sometimes it's not so easy. And yeah, dropping into the belly, that's where I seem to find my desires live, in my belly, in my solar plexus. And I just have a little check-in, so it can be for this very moment, in this connection that we have right now. So it could be, I have a desire for you to hold me and stroke my hair and cuddle me and tell me that I'm beautiful, and maybe more of a caring energy as opposed to a sexual energy. Yeah, so you can say that and then the other person can receive it and they can feel into it, and they don't even have to really say yes, okay, I'll do that, or they can just hear the desire, and that can be enough. So just being heard, not being judged, like a desire just being kind of welcomed with the ears, like received by another person, can really bring a lot of movement in the body, or change in the body, or release, or satisfaction, or maybe even tears, because you've voiced what you actually truly would like in front of another human being. So then the other person can then voice their desires, and it's really nice to just kind of have an openness, a relaxed kind of posture, and just like kind of hear the person and know that you never have to do anything you don't want to do. You never, ever, ever have to do anything that you don't want to do. Ever. Ever. And from my experience, from going to lots and lots and lots of workshops, from living in that kind of like exercise, I'm exercising my muscle of no, feeling what I want, checking in with myself, what's okay. From kind of doing a lot of those experiences, it kind of trains my body to go to those places more easily, and that a no can come out and no one gets hurt, and a no can come out from the heart, and it's just like a kind of no thank you, where it says yes to yourself. So you can, it's maybe saying no to something that you don't want allows you to have something that you do want. So that's RBD. And I imagine you can say desires for like kind of long term, but it's really nice to keep it in the moment with the person that you're with. So DS. S is sexual health, and it can be maybe sexual partners. So what I found is, if I can stay quite centered and comfortable in myself when I talk about my own sexual health, and, I might notice shame or guilt, and if I can notice that and just relax a little bit and just see that we're all humans and we want to do our best, and we might have some history of things, we essentially want to keep ourselves safe and another safe. So if there are any, things going on in the body, maybe it's okay to say it. Just check in with yourself. And it's really good to be transparent, because I have had an experience recently where someone expressed something and I didn't know very much about it. They told me more about it, and then I was like, oh, I think that's totally fine. And there's totally like safe ways to go around things as well. So you can still experience beautiful things and be sexually safe and healthy and care for yourself and care for another. So it doesn't have to be, I'm just saying that it doesn't have to be an awkward conversation. If you can kind of own your own kind of, so for example, say you hadn't had an STI test in like weeks, months, years, and you're like, oh gosh, am I a bad person? You're not a bad person. You can choose to do it. You know, it can be something you can just realize, oh, it is important actually. Yeah, I do need to do that. I want to do that. I want to start afresh. I want to go into something and, yeah, feel sure in myself. It's about yourself. And, yeah, care for another. So that's sexual health. M is for meaning. So this one, I guess I have an example for it. So for one person, this might have a lot of meaning. So they may not have made love to someone or like been intimate and connected with touch with someone for a long time. They may have had a bad breakup like quite a while ago and not really gone towards intimacy with another person. So because it's been so long, they're really excited and there's like quite a lot of energy, like, yes, I want this to happen. So there's a lot of maybe meaning there. So this means a lot to me. I've not connected with anyone in a long time. So I really need a lot of care from this. And yeah, I might have some specific requests, which are the next letter actually, for you to help me feel cared for. So another one for meaning, it could be I'm feeling sexually frustrated. I've got a lot of energy in my body and I just want help to release this energy out of my body. So it's kind of like a maybe health or relief type connection. So it's like, I really want your help to help me relieve this kind of energy from my body. So it might not be a long-term thing. It might just be, thank you, you've helped me release that today. And yeah, it might not be so long-term. Yeah, and this is a perfect opportunity if you both want really, really different things. Now is such an amazing time to say, oh, okay, maybe this won't be so great for me. I just need to check in. And what I find myself is I need to check in with my inner child. So if I want comfort and kindness and closeness and like the feeling of safety, and somebody else wants quick relief and pleasure and joy, I might not be able to soothe. I might not be able to hold myself and let that happen. Or yeah, I might not be able to relax enough for that because it's probably not within the kind of bandwidth of what I want. And even if there's like a willingness, sometimes it's like really checking in. Am I okay with receiving that and experiencing that? So this chat is really great. And even if nothing sexual or touch or anything like that happens, you have just been really clear with another human being about your wants and needs. How amazing is that? And I can for sure say the first time I ever did this, it was with lovely Benito in Thailand, in one of his fabulous parties, like a loving play party or temple. And yeah, we didn't go any further. We just did this conversation. I had such change in my body. I had such awareness and such a deep rapport and love for the person that I just connected with, and that was enough. Didn't need to go any further. So yeah, my heart felt open, and I felt really, yeah, connected and with the other person. So even if it doesn't progress or move or change into next moments of more things or playing out of the desires, it's an absolute gift in itself. Okay, so then the final one, which I love, and I think it's not always on this kind of structure. Different people do different ones. So I just really loved the A at the end, which is aftercare. So aftercare is, and once you get to know yourself better, it's freaking fantastic. So for example, I know I have had an experience in my childhood of like my father disappearing and feeling abandoned. So if I get close with someone and feel connected to them, I don't want that connection to just drop away. Like, so we're so close, and then for it to just like kind of like violently or brutally be nothing. So go from being very close to nothing. So I know to ask for a text the next day, and I say, please, I would like you to text me. Would you be willing to text me the next day to check in? And yeah, I find that it's such a lovely, I don't know, crash mat. Doesn't have to be a crash mat, but something to like a lovely, soft pillow to fall into, knowing that, yeah, I've requested for the kind things that I need, and the other person has heard it. And of course, the other person might say, I'm not willing to text you the next day. However, I will call you in 2 days or something like that. Just some way of like coming to some peace. And maybe it's the reassurance that they care and that they're not just, maybe dropping you without care. So I absolutely love this. And I've been on a date in Thailand on a naked beach, and this was our first conversation, and it was superb. And yeah, I just find that it's very good at reducing the amount of pain that the heart needs to experience. And another thing I found, that if you are in a relationship with a person that's ongoing, maybe you want to have this conversation every 2 weeks. So I did find that in my last relationship that, I found it really helpful. Do we still like each other? Do we still want to hang out? Because who knows? We're very changeable beings, and we're maybe doing work on ourselves. We're maybe having new connections. We're maybe upgrading and not wanting the same things all the time. So yeah, it's really good to check in. And I feel like it can be edited with a friend as well, to help each other have similar expectations, and like just to be on a kind of similar level, to know where you both stand. So I hope you've received something useful today, and I hope you feel confident and supported in the fact that this is a freaking great conversation. People want to have this conversation. People like truth and realness. People want to keep their heart safe. And yeah, it's a really, really beautiful way that we can do that and look after ourselves. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. And yes, much love to you all.